You're watching the one to turn to WPEC TV 12. Now, from the one to turn to for news, Chandra Bill, Tim Malloy, sports with Dan Oliver, and John Matthews, this area's most trusted meteorologist. Live, this is WPEC Eyewitness News at 11.
When the cops moved in, this trailer was the end of the line for a suspected murderer. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Case closed. Martin County lawmen head to South Carolina. It is the end of the line for a suspected killer.
Richard Brower is locked up in isolation tonight. He's been on the lam since allegedly killing his in-laws near Stuart Friday night, and he waived extradition. So, Treasure Coast cops will bring him back to Stuart in a day or two to face murder charges.
He ran from out here with his gun in his hand. As he started in the door, he had the gun. The officer grabbed him and threw his gun up towards the camera right there.
And he was taken without further incident.
Right, he was pulled out and cuffed.
Life on the run ends in Lawrence County, South Carolina for Richard Brower. Last night, detectives there busted him at this trailer he rented under a fake name a couple of days ago. Detectives in South Carolina were warned to prepare for the worst when they moved in on his place in the small town of Woodruff.
We think that he did pose a potential danger to anyone that he might decide to rob. He'd already killed two people, or is alleged to have killed two people, and had nothing to lose by killing more people, we think, in his mind.
Brower is charged with murdering his in-laws Friday night at their home near Stuart. John and Sandy Cassidy were shot to death. Cops say Brower snapped when the Cassidys wouldn't tell him where his estranged wife and their 3 kids were hiding. Their murders left neighbors shaken. Brower's arrest brings relief.
And something like that happens right there. Damn right it's scary.
Scary even for cops. Just yesterday, Stuart police sharpshooters attended the Cassidys' funeral in an armored show of force, just in case this was where Brower decided to play out his original promise of more violence. But he was actually in South Carolina. Cops here tracked him through his cellular phone. Investigators say that through the process of elimination, they figured out that Brower's handheld phone was active on the cellular system in South Carolina. That narrowed down his location to a 50-mile radius. Once they knew what county he was in, they pinpointed his location in Woodruff through a tip.
An accident tonight sends an elderly couple's car plunging into a lake. The accident happened at Boynton Beach Boulevard Military Trail. The couple's car was hit and sent spinning into the water. Several people passing by stopped to try to help, but they had trouble with the rescue.
We all just jumped in, and the elderly man, we got the elderly guy out first. Yeah. But the car kept sinking, and she had her seatbelt on, so nobody could get under there. And the other guy...
The Good Samaritans finally did get the woman out of the car and helped revive her. She is in critical condition tonight at Delray Community Hospital. The man who was with her was uninjured.
One Jacksonville family is thankful they spent this Thanksgiving at someone else's house. A pilot decided to do a little sightseeing but ran into engine trouble. Eric Arnold brought his single-engine Cessna down in a field. The plane bounced around and then crashed into a house. Arnold and his girlfriend are okay. The people who live in the house weren't home when the folks in the plane dropped by.
While we enjoy warm Thanksgiving temps, much of the country is enjoying, or depending on your point of view, suffering through some very chilly weather. In Fargo, North Dakota, about a foot of snow has fallen in the last couple of days, catching city officials there by surprise. A lot of streets are still snow-packed and clogged as residents spend their holiday digging out.
In Minnesota, holiday travelers were slowed by slick roads and heavy snow, with warnings going out to stay home and off the roads. 8 to 12 inches of snow is expected to fall by the end of the day.
Snow may be the big story in the upper Midwest and northern plains this Thanksgiving, but freezing drizzle and rain are chilling the southern central part of the country. In Dallas, Texas, holiday travelers weathered icy road conditions, and the Miami Dolphins just about froze their fins off, playing the Dallas Cowboys today. Highlights of that white-knuckle game coming up in sports.
Thanksgiving takes on new meaning this year for the mayor of West Palm Beach and a group of recovering prostitutes and drug addicts. Mayor Nancy Graham spent part of her Thanksgiving visiting with some of the prostitutes who are getting drug treatment at the Sheriff's Drug Farm in Belle Glade. The women wrote to Graham after they were arrested and apparently changing their ways.
A lot of the girls that are getting caught up in the stings are willing to turn their lives around and don't know how. So I think that when you get arrested, it gives you a chance to make that decision.
Graham says she hopes the police stings will continue to get the hookers off the streets and onto the road to reform.
If you enjoyed a football game or hot Thanksgiving dinner today, you know you could not have done that without electricity. But FP&L says it's losing about $7 million a year due to theft of electricity, people stealing it. The company has seized hundreds of meters that were tampered with. Meter readers are trained to look for signs of meter tampering, but the thieves are often turned in by neighbors or relatives who just want to stop it.
The general rate-paying public pays for it if we don't catch this person stealing electricity. It's just like shoplifting. It's those that do buy the merchandise that pays for those that steal.
One theft in Palm Beach County went on continuously for 8 years before FPL finally caught the customer and prosecuted him.
A big holiday tradition officially gets underway tomorrow, shopping, and lots of it. Most malls have already converted into Christmas wonderlands, and many shoppers have gotten a jump on holiday buying. But Christmas is still a month away, and financial advisors are recommending some kind of spending plan to keep you financially afloat this holiday season.
I would suggest making a quick check of your checkbook to make sure that you have accounted for everything so that you don't accidentally overdraw your account. Check into your charge cards and see what exactly your interest rates are.
It may sound like elementary advice, but keep in mind banks process a lot of loan applications every January.
You are planning your holiday shopping and you're worried about your budget. You can take care of both without much harm to your bank account. Here's how. Thrift shops opening at a record pace these days around here, offering great variety, moderate prices. Eyewitness News reporter Claudia Shea takes us on a thrift shopping spree in tonight's special assignment.
Thank you very much.
Shopping at thrift stores like Goodwill saves dollars, often without sacrificing your fashion sense.
Put it up to your waist and see if it's too big. Oh, that's nice.
If you're willing to invest the time, you're bound to find treasures tailor-made if you're tightening your belt.
It's a fascinating place. You never know what you'll find in here.
Thrift shops like this, where you can buy for pennies, are more popular than ever, and they're springing up.
Coming up on TV 12 Eyewitness News, an out-of-control balloon injures parade watchers.
Santa's helpers preparing for Christmas, now just 1 month away.
And the Addams Family is back with a few new additions. Movie critic Mike Keene takes a look. John.
Hi, everybody. John Matthews in the WPEC Weather Center. Happy Thanksgiving to you, and hello. Rainstorms coming inbound around the Jupiter area. Big one right there. Back to Shop the Dop and talk weekend forecast coming up next on TV 12.
Remember, you're watching the one to turn to WPEC TV 12.
That was John Matthews. Now that Thanksgiving is over, it's time to start thinking about Christmas. That's what these Santas were doing today. They were graduates from Western Temporary Services, which recruits and trains as many as 3,000 Santa helpers a year. Tomorrow, many of these certified Santas will be taking their posts at shopping malls.
Get them out there. No. Shove that turkey aside.
That wasn't John Matthews making that turkey gobble.
I wish I could do that. I'd take claim for that if I could. Well, I'll take claim for some showers, Ron. We had them in the forecast today. Today was really a mixed forecast. Remember last night here on TV 12, I'd said it'd be mostly cloudy with some showers around. That's because we have this long, low-pressure area that's been hanging around. The thing is, though, most of the Palm Beaches southward all had beautiful weather, while northward, Jupiter northward into the Treasure Coast, raining like crazy all day. So some of y'all think I'm kooky, and the rest of you think I'm okay, depending on how that forecast worked out. But I'll tell you why I'll show you why in a second why that's all working out. 75 degrees in Bureau right now, 74 for Pierce and West Palm and Boca. So mid-70s and pretty warm and very, very muggy, and you really feel it. But look at the winds. They go from dead calm in the Palm Beaches to a northeast wind at 25 miles an hour in Vero Beach. Quite a significant change in the weather features going on there. High today was 82 officially for Thanksgiving Day, one of the warmest places in the country. Oh, you had to go north to be warmer. Melbourne, 84. Anyway, we've been as warm as 88 and as cool as in the 30s back in 1970. On the live Doppler radar, you'll notice this giant cell exploding right over the Jupiter area with a lot of heavy rain. There's a big, heavy downpour, and you all know what I'm talking about if you live there. The rest of the area, we've seen some light showers. Let me take you back in time once again and point out that this is the only area of rain that we've seen right along the coast all afternoon and throughout the evening. You know, it's nothing really south of West Palm other than a few little isolated showers around Boynton Beach and Lantana today. Look at this big train of moisture coming right inbound with that northeast wind, and more of that is likely tonight. However, we're in a dry area on here's the low pressure area, and here's this dry tongue right here, and so southeastern Florida ended up with a lot of sunshine and a beautiful day, but just to the north of the Palm Beach is rain and clouds. And you can see a lot of clouds across most of the central part of the state, so quite a significant feature. Also, this guy's moving away, but this little tail is kind of staying with us, so we're going to get rid of that tonight, rain it out, and then I got you for a couple of good days where you won't think I'm a kook. There you go. Here's what's happening across the Great Lakes. A lot of clouds there, but no snow just yet in many areas, although it was pretty mild as far as temperatures across the eastern half of the country. But over on the west, the big feature, of course, is 10 to 20 below zero temperatures up in the high plains. Montana, Wyoming at Old Faithful, it was 38 below zero this morning in Wyoming there. So anyway, a lot of cold air, and that is all penetrating for highs tomorrow, only in the 30s once again in South Texas and Central Texas, while we'll be the envy of the nation if you like warm weather. Notice a comma-shaped storm system here, dumping as much as 22.5 inches of snow at last count in some parts of North Dakota, Bismarck, North Dakota. So wild, snowy day there and cold weather going on. For us, north-northeast winds 10 to 18, increasing. Our seas at 3 to 6 and wilder offshore. All that low-pressure area offshore continues to kick up the seas, even though it's not as windy outside right now. Partly cloudy. Showers continue tonight. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a nice day. I said a nice day. All right? Here's what's happening. We clear things out for Friday and Saturday. Another cold front is forecast to come through here Saturday evening, and so Sunday will be cooler in the mid-70s, and our lows on Sunday night will be in the 50s again. So something for everybody.
Okay, John, thanks. Holidays definitely have a way of bringing out the very best in people. No one personifies that giving spirit better than the volunteers. Case in point, Arlene Bush. That's her. For 5 years, Arlene has been setting her own Thanksgiving Day aside to feed hundreds of migrant workers and their families in the western reaches of Boynton Beach. She's even earned a reputation among neighbors who stop by and drop off food and clothing this time every year. Why does she do it?
As I said, it's an honor to feed these people. I mean, that's the highest thing that you can do is serve. You know, this is a get-to. We don't have to do this, but we do it because we want to. We love it.
Bush says any food left over from today's Thanksgiving feast will be served to the hungry throughout the coming week.
She's a nice lady. I've met her, and she does this every year.
Yeah, you did a story on her once.
Yes, nice lady.
Good for her. We wish her the best. More to come for you on TV 12 Eyewitness News. A cartoon character causes screams instead of laughter at the Macy's parade.
And a family known for screams and laughter, the Addams family, kicking up a little trouble. Mike Keene's review coming up.
No. Shot for George Bush. He was Bill Clinton's frontman during the campaign. He won, she lost. He hit the lecture trail. She got a talk show. Now they've got each other. Known as tough, hard-bitten political pros, they've been an item since the New Hampshire primary.
And just ahead on TV 12 Eyewitness News, the Dolphins are giving thanks to one person in particular for giving them a second chance to ice the Cowboys. Dan Oliver has the highlights.
And then fall traditions in Florida, a place that traditionally skips fall. That story and more. Hey, Dan's here with sports.
I guess no one could take their Thanksgiving nap after the big turkey, because that game was too great.
I couldn't, and I wanted to, but just couldn't do it. When it was over, the Dolphins were elated and the Cowboys were deflated. Feeling a little let down with the help of Dallas defensive lineman Leon Lett, Miami was able to overcome a ton of intangibles to win a wild football game. First and foremost, of course, the wacky weather. Snow all over the field, and you knew it was going to be different when Pete Stoyanovich looked like Charlie Brown on his first field goal attempt. Lucy didn't pull it away on that one, though. Then the truly bizarre Keith Byers takes the handoff, and look at him go. Oh, my. The guy with big feet, they said, going 77 yards, the longest run of his career, and that ties the Dolphins' longest run from scrimmage ever, 7-zip. But the Cowboys came back. Former Miami Hurricane Kevin Williams getting a pair of touchdowns, the second one on the spectacular 64-yard punt return. That made it 14-7. But two Stoyo field goals made it 14-13 with 3:32 left. Eddie Murray with a chance to perhaps ice it. Not even close. Now comes the twilight zone. Stoyo with a shot to win it. It is going to be blocked. Game over, right? Well, Jerry Jones thinks so, but Leon Lett, still remembered for the Super Bowl blunder, touches the ball, and that means it's live. Jeff Dellenbach recovers and gives Stoyo another chance. He will not miss this one. The Dolphins take it 16-14. Don Shula 327 wins, none has had quite a bizarre ending as this one.
For the conditions that we had to play in, I thought it was a remarkable football game on both sides. Both sides played well.
Well, I'm just fortunate and thankful that I got that opportunity. It's really a dramatic finish, and it was just something that I'll never forget.
There were, hundreds of mistakes made in this particular ball game. It just so happened that that particular one cost us the ball.
Finish it, Coach. The ball game. Judging by the condition of Jimmy's hair and the wall in the Cowboys' locker room, Leon Lett is not going to be a popular guy in practice this coming week. Well, a bad day for the Lions, who lost Barry Sanders for 3 to 5 weeks with a partial tear of his medial collateral ligament. The Bears adding insult to injury, forcing 4 turnovers, including 2 fumbles by Rodney Peete. Former Gator Trace Armstrong causing that one. Jim Harbaugh, that touchdown pass, and a little brawl broke out. But
don't blame him.
That's it for sports.
Up next on TV 12 Eyewitness News, breaking with tradition.
That's the Florida tradition for dealing with the holiday, Florida style. Stay with us. He's ready.
Remember, you're watching the one to turn to WPEC TV 12.
Time for one last look at the weather. John.
Okay, that big low-pressure area that's been bothering us past couple of days continues to swing out in the Atlantic. But wait a minute, here's a little trough of low pressure, and that's setting up still some showers. That's also going to swing out of here to set us up for the next 2 days of beautiful sunshine. On the Doppler radar, lots of activity. I think this is where Tim Malloy's dog is right now, under the bed. Lucy's under the bed right now in that area. Anyway, watch for these showers. They are inbound for the next couple of hours.
And she's shaking.
Shaking and quaking.
Finally tonight, how did you celebrate your Thanksgiving? Weather-wise, it could not have been much nicer in South Florida.
Eyewitness News reporter John Gilbert shows us how South Floridians can enjoy the holiday in somewhat untraditional ways.
South Florida temperatures in the low 80s, and it's a turkey day to make just about anything gobble.
I sculpted some sand. Yeah, it was too cool.
In the spirit of the Pilgrims, the Donnellys of Jupiter tried a little Thanksgiving feast at Carlin Park.
This gravy's starting to thicken up now.
Finally, 4 hours later, we got gravy.
I could do with some snow. I'll take that. If you guys can get that in the forecast, I'll take some snow.
You asked for it, Mary.
And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it...
Sorry, Mary, that's all you get. Now for some more South Florida Thanksgiving.
Well, all right, what's your man?
I'll take the sun and the warm water.
Ooh, yeah.
Let's all give thanks that we're lucky enough to spend this day with each other.
That's a black tip. See the black tips?
And that's your Thanksgiving Day dinner?
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm going to have tonight.
This day is for the birds, too. Over the river and across the reef, to grandmother's house we go.
Happy Thanksgiving!
And that does it for Eyewitness News this Thursday night.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Closed captioning brought to you by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer.